Hi everyone, I'm coming on live today and we're going to be channeling our spirit guides. And of course I have my spirit guide Adrian. I've had so many lifetimes with him, starting as a Pleiadian and then over to Earth as well. So it's going to be exciting to channel his guidance for everyone. So any questions that you're going to have about spirit guides, and your spirit guide, of course, we're going to be answering those questions. When everyone comes and joins, we are going to first be sensing and bringing along your spirit guide so you can sense and feel what your spirit guide feels like. Okay, that's really important because we can talk about spirit guides and we can, you know, channel my spirit guide. But I think what's most important is what about your spirit guide, and what does your spirit guide feel like, and what are you picking up on? I think that's the most important. So some of us, we sense, we've been told maybe by a medium that our spirit guide, you know, I've heard a lot of people say they have a Native American spirit guide. I've heard people say, you know, they have a female spirit guide, a male spirit guide. Why would a spirit guide present either male or female? And how do we pick up on that? Like, what does male or masculine energy feel like versus female or feminine energy? Okay. Just going to see the comments below here. Perfect. Okay. So, just seeing here, pushing that button. All right. So with our spirit guides, I remember long ago I asked, why are you presenting as male? That was the first question. And the response that I got back from my male guardian, or sorry, I always want to say guardian angel because I talk with them the most. Adrian and I, we chat like, I don't know, once every couple months. If that. And it's usually my guardian angel that I'm chatting with the most. Although some mediums, they choose to speak with their spirit guides the most, and that's who they bring through for readings, and that's who they channel the most. You know, I bring through whomever you wish to connect with, but typically it's going to be your guardian angels that I love to connect with. And with Adrian, he responded with his most predominant amount of lifetimes has been male. So that is why he chooses to come through as a male. And I even said to him, well, if you wanted to, could you present as female if you wanted to? And he was like, no. He didn't like that. He didn't resonate with that. He feels more masculine, just based on the amount of lifetimes that he's had as a male versus, you know, as a female. And I remember long ago asking, you know, what is the most predominant amount of lifetimes that I've had, male or female? I always felt it was female, but I wanted to know which is which. And I did receive female. For some reason, the comments aren't coming up in my comments area. So what I'm going to do is just grab my laptop so I can see your comments, because that's really important in order to read the questions. So just give me 2 secs. And I'm back. Now I'll be able to see what you guys are typing. For some reason, it's not popping up there. All right. Technology. Channeling is the easy part. Okay. Well, there I am. Perfect. There we go. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Love it. Oh, love it. Yep. So if you are sensing your guardian angel, you know, it would be like somebody walking the room and just being in your presence. Would their energy feel more feminine or more masculine? Light and open, or a little bit heavier, more masculine feeling? So this is what I'd like to do with everyone. I'd like you to ask for your spirit guide to step forward. Does anybody remember how many spirit guides that we have? So how many spirit guides do we have? I love it, Michelle. Love it. Love it. So each of us has 2 spirit guides. At least that's what I've seen. And I remember receiving that I had 1 spirit guide, Adrian, but then as I started to channel readings, like hundreds and hundreds, and I realized everybody has 2 spirit guides. Why do I only have 1 spirit guide? And the answer came through that Archangel Michael was acting as my 2nd spirit guide. And that's all I needed. Now, there are other times, yep, 2, yep, it can be more than 2. Can be more than 2. I've seen up to 3. This is what I've seen during readings. And I'm not saying that there couldn't be more, but that's just all that I have seen, up to 3. And I've asked, why are there 3? And the answer came back that this person that I was channeling for needed that extra support in this lifetime. So that's why they had 3. So that's cool, isn't it? So you are totally, fully supported, more than you can ever possibly imagine. And we're going to ask one of your spirit guides, probably the more dominant one, the one that's with you the most, to step forward, okay? And so now we're going to quiet our minds. We're going to sense and feel where we are feeling them coming in around us, from behind you, from beside you, which side, from above you, okay? And we're looking for warmth, pressure, chakra centers being affected, energy coming through your chakra centers, okay? So this is what we're looking for when we're calling in your spirit guide, okay? So let's just relax and feel where they're coming in, and let me know in the comments, where are they coming in, and are they male or female? Or maybe you're not picking up on a male or female and it's just androgynous, or not picking up on a sex per se, maybe just not sensing it. Okay. I could hear Adrian say, I'm right here, off to my right, okay? While you guys are sensing and feeling, and typing in the comments where you're feeling your spirit guide come in, and P.S., if you don't sense or feel anything, say, I don't sense you. I need you to open and expand your energy more. Maybe come in and affect one of my chakra centers, please. Okay, you let them know, I don't sense you. I need you to crank it up. They'll hear you, in your mind or out loud. So, Adrian, is there any other reason why a spirit guide presents as male or female? He says, well, it really just comes down to the lifetimes a soul has incarnated within the vessels, and over incarnating so many times in a vessel, you just, he says, you take on, or you feel more of that sex than the other. He says that there are souls that incarnate in other locations, other planets, other, he's just showing like other universes, like just completely right off the grid from what we even know exists elsewhere. And in those locations, he's showing me vessels that produce kind of like the what do they call them? The little water horses in the ocean. So they produce their own offspring from their body. There's no male and female. It happens within one vessel. Other locations, they don't have sexual organs. Okay. He just said to me, I know that's probably a tough one for you to see, because he gave me an imagery of physical vessels that have no sexual organs. Like I'm like literally seeing no private parts. Other beings choose to, other vessels, bodies that your soul may inhabit, they choose to procreate within, he's looking at it like an embryo chamber. So they put things together and then they procreate that way, separate from their vessels. Seahorse, thank you. Yes, just like that he was showing me. Isn't that wild? Okay. So everybody, whether you're watching this live or not, you can feel your spirit guide by following along with what we're doing here. Oh, isn't that cool? In meditation, yours has been male. Yep, but you've had several guides appear. Yep. You'll have your spirit guides. Then you'll have Starseed family members that are here helping you in this lifetime. So that would be, say, for example, you were a Pleiadian and you incarnated with souls in Pleiadian vessels. And then that Pleiadian, maybe it's your mother from that lifetime, chooses to come in non-physical energy form and helps you through this lifetime. And you can have like so many different Starseed family members here assisting you, let alone your guardian angels and then the rest of your team of angels. So you're feeling on your left side and back side as a male. Okay, and you're feeling male as well. Isn't that wild? Yep, we're talking about our permanent team. Yep, and you'll always have your permanent team, and you'll have angels come in and assist you with specific things in your life. Maybe you're praying for something, maybe you're just asking them for something, or the third way you're asking is you're complaining about something in your life. You're complaining. Say you're complaining that you don't have enough money, lack, woe is me, that kind of mentality. That will bring in an abundance angel. I see it so many times during readings. It's so often prevalent. Now, once the abundance gets flowing and you've changed your lack thinking around and you've got more abundance thinking and you're using affirmations and you're doing so great, that abundance angel will go elsewhere. But then in will come another angel to help you with something else. So there are different energies that will come and go. Yay, Dee made it! So pressure on Chrissy on the left side of your head and the top. Excellent, excellent. It's literally like, hey, we're here, Chrissy. I love it. Oh, you're feeling behind you. Love it. Tingles up your back. That's another shivers or tingles. Pressure on the back side of the head. This is a great place. They love coming in for communication right here. The back side of the third eye, and also where your pineal gland is located, and the back side of your throat chakra is a prime area for them to come communicate. And you feel warmth on your right side. Not sure if it's male or female. And say a soul really does have 50% of their lifetimes as a female and 50% as a male. Then what? Maybe it does feel like, well, but usually what I recognize during readings is that a spirit guide or a soul has had lifetimes predominantly more of one sex than the other, like a 90%, 10%, or 2080. It gets on a roll. Now, I've also heard that a soul choosing a predominantly female lifetimes, okay, with all that the female body goes through in a lifetime, a soul may choose those types of lifetimes in a female body to have further growth, okay, just more contrast, more physical pain, okay, childbirth, and then I could go down a long list of some of the things that females, like menstrual cramps on a regular basis. I could go through other things females go through, but let's keep this PG rated. All right. Tracy, your spirit guide is here, and your spirit guide's in your hair and up by your crown. Your hair standing on end by your crown chakra, getting your attention. Good. So where does your spirit guide come from? This is what they tell me, and this is what I've seen so many times. Your spirit guide is actually from your soul group on the other side. So if a soul is from your soul group, that also makes them your soul mate. And you can incarnate in vessels with your soulmate. It can be a mother-child, it can be romantic, it can be non-romantic. A soulmate isn't always romantic. A soulmate can come in for a period of time and help you in your life, and then that time is up and they go elsewhere. I myself have had one soulmate relationship in my past, and that lasted for 2 years, and then it was time to part ways. We were on two different paths, two different trajectories. So that was very difficult to part ways with that soulmate, but I knew that it was time, and I knew it was best. So not all soulmate relationships are meant to last forever, okay, or for the remainder of your lifetime. So your spirit guide is from your soul group and hanging back in your soul group, overseeing you while you are in a vessel. Is the entirety of your soul in your vessel? Or is part of your soul hanging back in your soul group with your spirit guide? Let's ask that question. So your spirit guide, from what I've seen, is also your soul mate from your soul group. Okay. I love it, Tracy. Female, mischievous Native American. Love it. Ooh. Yeah. Here's a great one. If you want to call in Lakshmi, great for great feminine energy, great for abundance. Great. Just wonderful energy. So feminine and wonderful. Highly recommend. Oh, you're feeling your spirit guide on your brow and on the back of your neck. Wow, that's amazing. Hot flashes. Love it. Okay, that's right, Chrissy. The entirety of your entire soul is not housed in this one body. Why? Why is that? Why is it that your entirety of your higher self, your soul, not housed in this body? Anybody have the answer on that one? Let's ask Adrian. I know the answer, but we'll see what Adrian says. Why is it that the entirety of our soul is not housed in this body? Yeah, Chrissy's right. Too much energy for your body. Adrian says there's not enough room in your body to house the entirety of your soul or your higher self, your energy. It funnels in a small percentage of itself through your body. But it's also, he says, recycling through as well. And you can connect with your higher self as often as you wish, he says. You would just chat with them. When I chat with my higher self, she's always coming in from above me, and I always get this pressure on the top of my head. And once in a while, my higher self is like, no, you're going to listen to me. We're doing it this way. And I'm like, but I don't want to do it this way. I'm not comfortable. And my higher self says, no, this is how we're doing it, Kristin. And then afterwards, I get the bigger picture and I understand why my higher self was so direct. And I'm thankful that I listen. My higher self is as direct as I am. All right. Oh, I love that, Aaron, that you can see that. Yeah, too much energy. When I asked this question many years ago, your body would not be able to survive if the entirety of your soul was housed through your body. So your soul chooses a certain amount, a certain, what do you want to call it, a certain percentage of itself to house in your body to learn and grow through this lifetime here on Earth, this school of Earth. And if you're having maybe more of an easier lifetime, your soul will choose a little bit less of itself. This is what I've been shown. And if you're having a little bit more of a, your soul has set forth some challenges of contrast in your lifetime to learn and grow from, then it might choose a higher percentage of itself to funnel through your vessel. T, you're cracking me up. All right. So, in regards to this spirit guide, I would like to ask Adrian, why is it that you chose to be my spirit guide in this lifetime? And also, are there lifetimes where I am your spirit guide? And is there lifetimes where everybody here watching this broadcast, where they are the spirit guide for maybe their spirit guide or for somebody else in their soul group? He says, it depends. He likes making me laugh. I like laughing, so it works out good. He says it depends. It depends on many, many factors, Kristin. He says, as far as you and me are concerned, he says, and he's giving me a visual of him going me, you, as far as you and me are concerned, me and Adrian. Yes, there have been times where I have hung back and have been his spirit guide, although I choose to predominantly be in the forefront. I choose to be on the ground. I choose to be in bodies more than I choose to be incarnating in vessels rather than hanging back in the spirit world, watching over another as a spirit guide. Why is that? Why do I choose to be in bodies? He says, I enjoy the thrill of it, the thrill ride. I revel in incarnations. He says that this one has been a predominantly a big doozy for me because I have endured health issues and I have experienced quite a bit of pain in this lifetime physically. But he says, look at you, you just rise up, you get right back up. You make it through the difficult moments and you get back up. He says that I'm really good at doing that. That's one of my, almost like my specialties. It's helped that I've had incarnations in Pleiadian vessels. That's really helped me hone in on my frequency and lift my frequency higher and bring that high vibrational energy here through this vessel in this incarnation. Wow. So yeah, I agree. I remember coming in as a kid here in this lifetime and I was just like so giddy and so happy. I annoyed people on a regular basis. I remember being like a little kid, maybe I was a year and a half old, and my family members told me that I sat up in my high chair at the table and we had this big family dinner and I would like turn my head and I would be listening and watching all the conversations going on at the table. Like, who does that at a year and a half? I mean, well, nowadays, I think the younger generation does do that. And they have a lot more, they're much more in tune and aware and awake coming in, which is really exciting. That's what's going to predominantly take over this planet, you see. the heaviness or the individuals that are heavier, inevitably we all exit. And then in comes the new souls. And the new souls predominantly taking over this planet in the next, 100 to 200 years. This will be a much different place. It was with much more, what would you say the new souls coming in will be like? They're going to bring in more light with them. They're going to be more light filled. And they're going to be open to and capable of taking in more light while they're here. This is all new to us here on the earth at this time, he says, anchoring the light through our vessels, through this process of ascension. And for some of for some of us, it's bumpier than others. If we don't ground our energy, if we are intaking foods that are heavy or not nutritious for our vessel, or low vibrational foods, low vibrational substances, chemicals, creating, he's calling it an imbalance in our vessels. This can make things harder. And he's smiling and he says, you may not notice that it's hard or difficult yet, but things will be ramping up in the future, and we will be anchoring more light through our vessels, and the earth will be anchoring this light as well. And it will intensify and increase for the remainder of our lifetimes here on earth. So that is what is coming. And to be honest, if I were to just go by my own experience, that's what I've experienced. It's just continuously increased. I haven't seen it back off or decrease. So if I'll start asking Adrian your questions, okay? Okay. So how do we figure out the name of your spirit guide? You're going to ask your spirit guide its name, and then you're going to tune your mind out. Quiet your mind. And then you'll probably feel a lot of pressure around your head. And then your spirit guide will probably try to come through your chakra center. And then it's going to start forming a word. And you can also ask your spirit guide to spell it out letter for letter. As he starts doing that, type it into the comments what name you're getting, okay? And let us know. All right. You can ask him to slow it down and give you letter for letter. Okay, if we ask our guides and angels to protect someone else, will they always do that? If somebody asks for protection? Okay. For the most part, yes, he says. However, some souls will make arrangements to have certain situations unfold in their lives, certain accidents, certain events take place that are meant to happen, that the soul has agreed to. And that's hard for maybe us to understand that. And if that is the case, then the spirit guides and the angels will not supersede or interfere with that. They will let that unfold because that is what the soul originally agreed to within its contract in incarnating here on earth. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. And if we were to look at a parent and a child, they always intervene, they always help. Every time, all the time. I've never seen them not. But say I wanted to ask for help or protection for a neighbor down the street. Well, that will depend on their free will as well. If they're like, no, I'm not interested in any help from any other energies, then that's also their free will. If they've agreed to have a certain situation unfold in their lives, for example, with what Adrian just said, they're not going to intervene on that. That is meant to happen based on what that soul agreed to before coming into this incarnation. Okay? Well, yep, divine timing is everything. And it drove me nuts too, Chrissy. I mean, for 12 years I asked. I knew something big was coming. I knew it was all the time. So what exactly are you asking will be time soon for what? Is Dee's spirit guide Barbara? Dee, you and me together, practice. Are you receiving a yes response in the body or a no response? Is Dee's spirit guide's name Barbara? You may hear it in threes in your head, like yes, 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 or no, no, no. And then you'll also feel it in your body. Open and light, yes. Tight, pull back, no. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Not time yet, Chrissy. Not time yet. And you can feel it. It's like a wall. It's like the energy, not time yet. Now, that doesn't mean that your free will can't run the show. If you decide, that's it, I've had enough, I'm out of here, I'm packing up my stuff. I know you guys are telling me it's divine timing and it's not time yet, but I'm done and I'm moving and I'm going to go move in with a friend. That's your free will choosing. You can do that if you want to. But one thing your angels might do is tighten down and stop the flow of energy through your chest and your stomach, through your chakra centers, and that is pay attention to us and listen. Do not move yet. And they will stop you. It'll be very uncomfortable. They can do that. But I'm just telling you, you do have your free will in this free will zone. If you've had enough and enough is enough, you can get up and leave. Where there's a will, there's a way. Do you know what that means? Where there's a will, there's a way. I've had to hang on to that many times in my life because I've had really hard moments in my life. And I've always said, where there's a will, there is a way. I may not have the answer yet, but I have the will. I have the strength. And say you don't feel like you have the strength or the inner will, then that's when you need to call on your angels to help do it for you or with you. Help me have the strength. Help me have the will. Help show me the way. Let's do this now. Show me the way. Show me the answer. Because even if you don't have the answer, someone's going to have the answer. Where there is a will, there is a way. There is always a way. Always. Remember that. Even when you go through the depths and it's the hardest times of your life. And you think, oh my God, is this ever going to end? I can't take it anymore. There is always, always a way. Always. And no one knows that more than me. Trust me on that. You're cracking me up, Dee. I get the most interesting names. I'll get Bob, and then I'll get some rando name I've never heard before that's off in left field that is so wild. And then I'll even get Dimes. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? And it's because, you know, the person's seeing dimes everywhere. And I go, well, I guess we know who's leaving you the dimes then. She named herself Dimes. So the answer, D, I get is yes. Hope you got the same answer, D. Can your spirit guides help you to understand your emotions? Oh, I love it. Can your spirit guides help you understand your emotions? Adrian wants to talk about this for a minute because some souls have had incarnations in other vessels where emotions were not prevalent. They were not in the forefront. It was more psychological, more analytical type thought rather than emotions. So when you go from those vessels and then you come into a human vessel and all of a sudden you're feeling things that maybe you're not used to feeling because you never did in any of those vessels, And then everybody around you, he's even showing me, like, you're noticing everybody around you is really emotional, especially as a female. And you come into a female vessel, and now you're feeling all these emotions. It can be very difficult at times to fully explore them, or even understand them, or even want to participate in feeling them. The short answer to your question, he says, is yes, we can. We can do that. They'll come into our thought processes, and they'll help us analyze or understand what we're feeling in a different way that is maybe more suitable and more for us to understand. And he's also talking about, he's showing me them working on us while we're sleeping, because the mind is nice and quiet, more quiet. We're nice and restful state, so it's easier for them to get in and help us. That's a great question. So for an Arcturian, for example, more up in the head, maybe more left brain oriented, more analytical, but then again, you may have several different starseed origins. You might be Pleiadian, Arcturian, and Andromedan, and then you come to Earth. Well, woo-hoo, what a combo that is, right? So say you are predominantly Pleiadian, and then you check out human. Now you're in a human body, but this is much easier, because Pleiadians were feeling and heart-centered and just thriving in that environment. And then you come into the human environment, and it's just, okay, I've been here before, I can do this, right? So it's easier than if you were an incarnate as maybe an Arcturian. I'm going to give you an example. My mom, Arcturian. My mom, her previous lifetime, male, no children. Then she comes into this lifetime. Oops, gets pregnant. Oops, gets pregnant. Oops, gets pregnant. Now she's a mother of 3 daughters. Na, 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 na. Can you imagine that ride? And my mom is predominantly Arcturian. She doesn't really express her emotions, not like I do. Totally. I mean, so many times I would look at me like, that's my parent. Like, we're so different, you know? Like, what? But once I understood where she had incarnated, and she was just struggling and having a hard time here on Earth. And I remember once saying to her, why can't you be what we need you to be? And I even said to her, I'm okay. I'm pretty high vibrational, you know that. But my sisters really need you to be their mother, in more of a maybe open, nurturing, communicative way. And she says, and I respect her for her honesty. And what she said to me next was, she understands that they need her in this way, but she just can't be that for them. She just doesn't have it in her to be that for them. And knowing my mother my whole life, I was like, yeah. It's just very difficult to be on Earth. Every day is hard. It's hard. And I watched her go through it. And I hope that I helped to make things lighter and easier for her. I'm sure it was quite a handful for her, because I'm all like Pleiadian and she's all like Arcturian-like. It was hard. Watching your daughters. One great thing is she raised all 3 of us to be very self-sufficient and independent and strong women. So that was an awesome thing that she taught us. She also raised us to know right from wrong, and I really appreciated that. Morals, values, that kind of thing. And then, of course, we then launch off of what she's taught us to be and to follow intuitively where we want to go in life. I mean, I'm not stuck back as a child and this is how I was taught, so this is how I'm going to be. No. Then I launch off of that, and that's part of being an adult. But it was just hard for my mom. Her appearance was really difficult. She felt like she had to do her hair and her makeup a lot of the time before we could leave the house. She'd be like, you want to go out? Yeah, let's go out. Oh, well, we have to sit and wait for 2 hours until mom gets her hair and makeup done. And I'm totally different than that. I'm like, okay, let's just slap that on and then let's go. You know, like I'm a little bit quicker. But Arcturians aren't physical beings, they're mental beings, right? So to be super physical on Earth, I haven't really seen a whole lot of Arcturians being super physical. Now again, if you've been Pleiadian and Andromedan and Arcturian, maybe you've been Arcturian but you haven't had as many lifetimes as Arcturian, then that's probably not going to affect you as much in your human vessel. But if you've had a lot of Arcturian lifetimes, and now that's going to affect you in your human vessel. It just is going to. I've seen it too many times. Oh, interesting, Chrissy. That coughing that you're getting is spirit guiding you as you're talking about it. So your job is to quiet your mind and let the energy form words in your throat box. They're trying to give you guidance while you're talking about it. Love it. You know, Tracy, you would think, sunshine and sunbeam, what the heck is that? But I'll tell you, if that's what they want you to see them as, or that's their name and they choose that, that's just how it's going to be. I mean, I got Aunt Jemima once, and this lady was shocked because she woke up in the middle of the night the week prior and she saw an energy that looked like Aunt Jemima. So we realized, okay, we broke it down, right? That was her guardian angel presenting as Aunt Jemima. All right, Jemima. I said, why would she say Aunt? And then I said, and she's saying Aunt Jemima, and she's showing me the lady on the syrup bottle. So they'll just do anything they can to get through. All right. Why did Jupiter come into your dreams the other night? I was sensing the energies of planets. I'm getting that there's not much significance of it other than that's what you were focusing on before going to sleep, and that was a planet that just came into your dream state. I'm not getting anything specific on that. All right. Yes. All right, Sangeeta. Is Sangeeta hearing the name Gina? Is that accurate? Sangeeta, let me know what you get, and then I'll tell you what I get. Now, there's no odd... It's funny, Kathy. There's no odd names. Not to me. Not after the... I think I'm going on 2,500 readings now. There are no weird or odd names anymore. Okay, so you're getting Camel, one or the two. I see the spelling. They know what you're saying. I'm getting Carmel. Carmel. That's what I'm getting. Female. Yeah. But you know what? If you like that name better and that's what you want to call her by, she's going to be like, okay. It's not going to be a big deal if you want to call her by it. You could literally just say, hey, you. Hey, spirit guide. Adrian chose Adrian. Is that your name in the spirit world, or did you just choose that name for me? That's his name in the spirit world. Okay. How come you get Adrian and I get Remembrance? Like, what's that all about? He says, you know that saying about choosers can't be beggars, or some comment like that. He's teasing me like, well, that's what you got. Oh, this is not fair. He said it's the meaning behind the name as well. So your frequency of your soul and your soul's name will produce a meaning behind the name. So it's not like it's really the name or how it's spelt or even how it sounds per se. It's the energy behind it. Yeah, he says it is somewhat the energy of when you say it, but it's the meaning behind it. So what does your name mean, Adrian? He says the overseer. The overseer. He oversees. So I go in the trenches and you oversee things. All right, we're quite the team then. I say in the trenches when I talk about incarnating on Earth. I'm in the trenches. Oh, yes, I am. Okay. Sweet. So is there any energy in Alandra's room? Yes. You know that. It's almost like you know that. Okay, Alandra. That's the, like, yes. Yes. Yeah, it's energy affecting your bulb. Yeah. So, Alandra, sit quietly and allow your spirit guide to spell its name in your head. Give it letter for letter. Type it in the comments, and then we'll double check. Yeah, knowing what I know now, it's hard to feel normal or like I fit in somewhere because there's so much more to life now that my mind has been opened up to. It is difficult to be here on Earth sometimes. You know what I like to do, Dee? I like to hang back and just observe. I don't have to always be in it. I don't have to be in it as Kristin. I don't have to be participating all the time. I can kind of hang back and observe the planet and observe the people, but I don't have to be in it all the time. I like to observe the birds and the sound of the birds and the trees and the light coming through the trees. And I'm enjoying the experience without being immersed in it intensively. I don't have to be entrenched in my thoughts. I don't have to be my thoughts. I don't have to be my emotions. I don't have to be in the three-dimensional reality all the time. It's too exhausting. We're just here for a time, so sit back and enjoy the ride and observe. Is Abria Syrian? Yes. I get 3 yeses. Okay, I'm going to say the same thing to you as I've said to everybody else. Quiet your mind and let them spell it out. Write it letter for letter on a piece of paper. Put it in the comments and then we'll go over it. Yeah. Yeah. If I were to go based on your energy, Anne, I feel there's some Arcturian lifetimes there. And I'm also getting Andromedan lifetimes as well. Yeah. Okay. I'm a 5-minute makeup queen too. Literally, like, yeah, all right, that's good enough. You know how everybody uses sponges and they like make sure and like, oh my God, you can't put your mascara on last. You don't do that. You have to put it on, then you make your, and then, yeah, and it's done so detailed now. Like, I'd fall asleep halfway doing it. Ooh, is being stuck in a dream loop some type of phenomena? Well, right now, with what's coming in on the planet with this energy, we're having the most intense, weird, bizarre dreams. And I don't tend to analyze them when they're like this because I know it's the energy permeating my vessel while I'm in my dream state. And then my dream state, picture all this energy coming in your vessel when you're relaxed and you're sleeping. So, or even when you're awake, you get heart palps, anxiety, your mind's racing. Oh yeah, I'm going to go to bed now. And you're more alert and awake. And then when you finally do get into your dream state, then you're dreaming, but this energy keeps coming in through your vessel, which is then affecting your dreams. And now you're in your dream state and your body's getting this light, okay? And you're in the dream and then you wonder what the heck happened. I don't analyze it because this energy is affecting the dream state at this time. So do you want to ask anything else about the dream loop? in specific, and then I'll dive into that. Has that been going on your whole life or only recently? That would be my next question for you. Love it. Rents is here. All right. Is Alandra's spirit guide Andrew? This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. Got it. Hey, Jackie's here too. Woo! I can channel for you, which I love doing. But I can also show you how to channel for yourself, because we're all mediums and we're all channels. There's a nice sign, hey? If you're getting that energy around your shoulders while we're channeling. Okay, perfectamundo. So when you have these dream states and you're kind of in a loop, I personally have been having a little bit of that too. And if it's been happening recently, I would say definitely energy related. Energy permeating your vessel while you are in a sleep state that's creating, and your mind is just going on this loop while you're getting it. Pretty much all this energy permeating your vessel. What I've been told is that in July, this energy is going to ease up a bit, and we're not going to get it as much. We're going to get a slight break. So the test will be in July, noticing if your dream state eases up and you're not getting the looping as much. Then you'll say, okay, for sure this is energy related. The other way you can do it too is you ground yourself out up against a tree at night before you go to bed on a consistent basis. And now we're grounding our energy as best we can. And if your dream state improves, then, okay, this is definitely energy related because I'm grounding my energy on a steady, regular basis. And this dream state is improving. I'm getting out of this looping. So these are two ways that you will know that this is energy related. I say it's energy related. What do you say? Energy related. Adrian says sometimes it's easier for us to get locked into a certain dream state and a repetitive cycle. It's easier somehow for us to kind of get looping. Now, P.S., if you don't like that, you can say, hey, angels, I don't like this looping. Can you help me get out of it now? I don't like it. Like, if I have intense dreams during these ascension periods, and my dreams are like bizarre and like intense and kind of scary at times, I'm like, I don't like the scary dreams. So I've asked them to help me wake up out of my dream state if it happens. So that's been happening, which has been good. And then I'm like, can you help to just remove the scary stuff? Because I'm not big on that. And then that's been happening too. So ask for that. Ask for what you want. And don't hold back. Don't think you're bothering them or that you're, hey, I was wondering, like, can you help me? No. You tell them what you want and what you need. Don't hold back. Oh yeah, that's normal. That's normal, Kathy. And I've seen that in several readings that I've had with predominantly mothers that have come to me with children that are open. And as they get older, they don't really want to talk about it. Or it's not happening as much and they're kind of growing out of it as they get older. Or it's still happening, but they don't want to talk about it. And they don't fully believe it. Yeah, that's normal. To me, that's normal. Okay, so I'm going to answer a couple more questions. You're super welcome. What do you do when you can't remember your dreams, Adrian? He's saying that some of us aren't meant to remember our dreams. Why is that? He says you could see it like this is just how we're built. This is just how we fit our energy into this vessel, and this is how we're built, and this is how things are. Some of us are really on the surface and we remember everything. Just like he says, you know, some of us are light sleepers and we wake up with just a pin drop next to the bed, he says. And some of us are very deep, deep sleepers and we need like 5 alarm clocks to wake us up in the morning. He says this is just how we're built. And he's also saying it's best for us to like not think that there's something wrong or that we're different or that or that you know, everybody else is. Why am I not? It's best for us not overanalyze it. There's a lot going on when we are sleeping, and that will happen for everybody across the board. The angels take the opportunity to work with us when we sleep. Love it. Okay, Sangeeta. Okay, Ina. Isn't it interesting? I'm getting like Ina. Again. And then I get either one. Either one's fine. This is how you do it. What is your name? Let them spell it out in your mind. The mind must be quiet to do that. And then I'm going to throw it back at them. I'm getting Andrew, is this correct? And then I sit with stillness and I wait for a yes or no response in the body. And then I do it again. And then again. And I might do it again and again. I'm getting Andrew, is this accurate? Andrew. And I'm waiting for a repetitive yes or no answer. Either I'm going to get it in the mind at yes, 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 or no, 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 or I'm going to get it in the body, or I'm going to get it in the body and the mind at the same time. And you do that with every question that you ever have for them, not just with their names. Do you want to talk about anything else, Adrian? He wants to talk about what's happening on the planet right now? We're slowly coming out of this. There's going to be changes that are coming on the planet that we might see as drastic changes. I see the middle of 2022 again. Things getting easier, like much easier by this point, energetically and otherwise. He wants to talk about fear or worry. There's a cleanup happening on Earth right now, and it's really important to give your fears and your worries to your team of angels and your spirit guides. Give it to them on a repeated basis as they arise in your mind. Don't hold on to those, and don't continue to repeat them in your mind and your emotional state of mind on a repeated basis, please. Give them over repeatedly. Help us help you, as we are the cleanup crew here helping each of you on Earth. And we are also here helping the Earth herself. It is important that you do this for us. It will help us clean up. He's using the word clean up. It's really transmuting the heaviness into the light, right? Within us and the Earth. And it's just helping them move along quicker. So hand off the heavy stuff that's happened in our past, heavy stuff that's happening now, heavy thoughts, lower vibrational thoughts, feelings, and emotions now. Give them over on a repeated basis so they can transmute it into the light. Why do we have to be the ones to hand it over? Because we're in a free will zone here on Earth, and we need our free will to give this over to them on a repeated basis. As we do this on a repeated basis, a lot of things will improve and get easier for us in our lives. Not only in your mind and your mindset, but in your life. Do it, do it, do it. Thank you, dear ones. Okay, everyone. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.